Hey guys, Saki here from SAKITECH, and in today's video, I want to talk about this smartphone right here. Now, this is the M-Horse Pure 2. Now, I did a review of the M-Horse Pure 1 on my channel before. You can find a link to that video down in the description box below. But this is the next iteration. Everything from the build quality, design, and the internals have changed on this smartphone. So let's dive in and take a look at it. The biggest feature of this smartphone, obviously, is what it says in the title. It's only $129. Of course, I'm going to drop some links down below so you can go check the full specs out on their website. But basically, it is $129. It feels rock solid when you hold this in your hand. And it does have a fingerprint sensor on the back right over here. It's centered, so that's good. So when I press that, as you can see, it unlocks the smartphone very quick. That's not bad for a phone for $129. I'm going to go into the details about this phone in a minute, but let me give you some quick specs of this just to give you some of the basics. It's got an octa-core processor. It's 1.5 gigahertz, the clock speed of the processor, and it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and of course you can use a micro SD card to add up to 256 gigabytes of extra storage if desired. So those are some of the highlights. It does have a HD plus display. It's 6 inches. This display is 6 inches big, and also it is a display made by Samsung. So let's dive in and take a look at this phone in some more detail to see if it's worth buying, and if it is, who it is for. First of all, this phone has an exceptional in-hand feel. When you hold it in your hands, it does not feel like a $129 smartphone. It actually feels just as good as something like a Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, and that's a flagship around $600. As for the build quality, initially if you don't pay careful attention, it does feel like a high-end build, but it certainly does not use some of the top components such as Gorilla Glass 5 for the front glass, which I certainly would not expect from a smartphone that is so inexpensive. From the front, this phone is almost a replica of the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, sporting the tri-bezel-less display, meaning it has virtually no bezels on 3 sides, top and the 2 sides, except for the bottom. The bottom bezel does have a little front-facing camera hidden at the corner on the right, which eliminates the need for having a notch on the top. I do like this idea of not having a notch, but it does force you to rotate the phone to take a proper selfie, although it is not a big requirement to rotate the phone. The screen size is 5.99 inches with an HD plus resolution, which is 1440 by 720. Watching movies or videos on this phone look pretty decent. It does not give the impression of a low-class screen, although it is low resolution by today's standards. But 1440 by 720 is still over 1 million pixels on a 6-inch screen. It does get the job done. On the rear, we have dual cameras. One of them is 16 megapixels and the other one is 2 megapixels. They're fine for taking shots on a daily basis and will produce acceptable photos in daytime, but obviously nothing on the level of a flagship, and we cannot expect too much at low light settings. Now, one great thing about this phone is it runs on pure Android 7.0, which is great. Overall operation is smooth. I haven't noticed much lag. It's got all the features of Android 7.0 and has no bloatware. So basically, this phone is a complete smartphone package. You can watch videos on it, you can browse the web, you can play music, take photos, use Bluetooth players with it, use any app you want, make calls, text, and such. These are the things most of us do on our smartphones. One thing you won't be able to do is play graphically intense games. For that, you need a flagship processor. I mean, you can play most simple games, but graphically demanding games will lag. It doesn't have the power to handle those without stuttering. Now, Pure 2 does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack, but does come with a USB-C to 3.5mm adapter in the box, so you can still use any headphone you please. It has a decently sized 3600 mAh battery, which will give you a good amount of daily use. Although remember, a 3600 mAh budget smartphone battery is not equal to a 3600 mAh flagship smartphone battery. so the battery life is not going to be as great as some of the flagship smartphones. But that basically sums this smartphone up. Extremely cheap to have, feels quite good in the hand, does everything an average consumer would want to do, minus flagship specifications and flagship features such as water resistance, wireless charging, super high quality screen, and such. It's clearly a budget smartphone, and for the right person, the price is right also. And like I said earlier, it does every basic thing a smartphone is supposed to do, and at this price, it is a good bargain for tight budgets. Again, links to full specs of this phone will be down below in the description box. And that brings us to the end of this video. Guys, make sure to subscribe to SAKITECH for more videos like these, and make sure to click that notifications bell icon to get instantly notified when I upload a video. Have a fantastic day.